Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I'm continuing with Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, the HD version. So we have infiltrated the Shell 1 core, and we are wearing an enemy uniform of the terrorists, and we also have an AK-74. So while we're up here, you'll notice the guards do not alert when they see us, as long as we have that uniform on, and also we have the AK equipped. But if we do unequip the uniform, or if we unequip the weapon, or if we actually run into the soldiers, then what will happen is they will go on alert, and it will actually lead to, you know, the usual startle response, and they'll come after us and try and kill us. So while we're in this area, I'm of course going to be picking up all of the items and ammo that I can, and I'll try to be showing off some Easter eggs as well. So we do have some more Konami Eyes girls on these different lockers. Not quite as scandalous of the photos as in the tanker scene, but they're still pretty nice looking women. This is also where the node is to get the map for this area. This core area is not a very large area. There's actually only 3 floors to it, and there's not much area to cover in each of the different floors. Now that said, there is a lot of guards that we have to worry about. And there is an item in this locker here, so let's open it up by kicking it. And we get some ammo for our other machine gun, the non-AK. So let's go to the node, let's activate our map, and then we will continue onward. Now there's like 5 guards or so in this area. There's 2 or 3 of them that guard the northern part of this area, and then there are 2 that guard the southern part. So there are 2 that walk back and forth, north and south on the hallways, and then there's 2 to 3 that kind of hook around the upper part of the hallway. And this is the door that leads out to the BC connecting bridge, but as you can see, it's actually disabled for some reason. Probably because that's where the explosion was with Fortune earlier in the game. Now you do want to be very careful. Do not accidentally bump into these soldiers, and do not let them walk into you either, because either situation will alert them. And it is really weird, it actually drops your uniform from you. And we are going to want to be careful here. I do want to take out the security cameras, because later on, we're going to have to come back through this area, and it is much more difficult in that situation to take out the security cameras. It's much easier to do it now. So I'm going to let that guard continue to the south. I'm gonna pull out my SOCOM and take out another camera. Dang it, I missed. Come on. There we go. Now, you do have to have the uniform on, and you have to have the AK equipped when you hit the elevator switch. That is the only way to get the elevator to activate and allow you to go down into the core. So, Ames is actually located on B1, but we want to head to B2 first, because there's an item there that we're going to need, and that is the directional microphone. Remember when we talked to the ninja last time, he mentioned that Ames actually has a pacemaker, and the only way that we can pick up on it is to have the directional microphone. I like how conversationally he said it. He was like, use the directional microphone, as if we've heard of that before, or even seen it. Now, there's quite a few guards in this area, and ultimately we do want to get into this command center. But to get there, we have to head all the way down to the south. And of course, there are more lockers, so let's open them up and grab some items out of them. So more posters, more ammo, more items, etc. There's actually another book up on top of these lockers, but I've never figured out how to actually get it. I imagine there's some way to get to it. I just don't know what it is. So the first thing you'll notice when we walk in here is that there's actually a Police Knots poster. It's a little homage to another Hideo Kojima game. And then there's this weird guard, and also a parrot. Now this guard here on the southern part of the room walks back and forth between 2 computer consoles. And if we actually give him a little bit of time here to activate the computer, you'll notice he's not really doing much work here. In fact, he's just looking up pictures of women. I guess you can't really blame him. We'll get our last cardboard box. There's the node to get the map, and we also have a Zone of Enders poster and a Metal Gear Ghost Babel poster. So let's activate the node and get our map. Now, I'm not sure if Ghost Babel is an actual game or not. It kind of looks like it might be related to the remake of the original Metal Gear Solid 1 for the GameCube, but I'm not 100% sure of that. So the microphone is over here. We have to weave between the guards, and then we'll grab it.
You have the directional microphone. According to our information, Ames has a pacemaker. This should make his cardiac pattern fairly distinct. Use the directional microphone to locate it.
Will do, Colonel. Now this parrot will say different things. You can actually look at him. Some of it's humorous, most of it's just inane.
Time for a treat.
I'm not gonna get you anything.
Hello?
Hi.
What's up?
Not too much. Kind of the funny thing he says is Hal,
Venus skin
which
cancer.
I think is kind of humorous. Alright, so we need to get out of here without alerting anybody.
How?
And we do want to also get out of here as quickly as possible, because eventually that guard that was yawning up there is going to start doing...
Hello?
There he goes. He starts running laps around the area. It's very weird. So let's try not to run into him. I don't know if he's doing calisthenics, he's working on his cardiovascular health, or that's part of his actual route that he has to do. But he is no more concern to us, at least not now. So let's head back into the elevator, and we're gonna head up to B1. Now the little double tap of the elevator that worked in the first Metal Gear Solid does not work here to bring the elevator quicker. But it's not a terrible amount of time. Alright, so here we are on B1. And you'll notice we need to do a retina scan.
Retinal pattern recognized. You are cleared to enter.
So obviously Raiden is not cleared to enter, which means we cannot stick our face up into that thing. We have to somehow figure out how to get past that. Now, it's not super complicated. I'm sure many of you have already figured out how to do it. All you have to do is use a guard and put them up against it. Now, the special condition, I guess you could say about that, is that the guard has to be alive. So you can't kill a guard and then stick them up against it. That won't work. So you'll notice there are 3 guards in this area, one that patrols and the other 2 stay in this lounge area. So the easiest guard to use, of course, is the one that's patrolling. So once we grab all the goodies in this area, we will head over and head into the conference room. Yeah, these terrorists are definitely much more... Well, I don't know if it's actually the terrorists that put this stuff up or not. This is about the most risque poster in this area. It might have been the employees actually working here. And of course, we have all of our magazines as well. So each guard does a little route up and then comes back. And then he'll come into the lounge area and he'll say all clear, and then another guard will head out. So you want to be aware of that. And we have lost our opportunity to get this guard. So we'll just wait for him to call the all clear, and then we'll use the second guard that comes out.
All clear.
Great. It certainly is. Nothing suspicious going on here. There isn't a random guard just hanging around kind of doing weird things like standing up against walls or loafing. Nope, nothing weird. Just go about your day. Don't worry about me. Yep, just come right by me. So once he walks up to the retinal scanner, quickly unequip your AK and grab him from behind. And you'll shove him up against the retinal display,
Retinal pattern recognized. You are cleared to enter.
which apparently knocks him out, and then we can actually head in.
Raiden, one of those hostages in there is Ames. The only thing we know is that Ames wears a pacemaker. His heartbeat should sound different from other people's, so use the directional microphone to locate him. Once you recognize Ames by his heartbeat, keep the microphone pointed toward him. Then push the action button and call out to him. If it really is Ames, he should respond in some way.
What if it's the wrong person?
The guards may get suspicious and come running instead. Security could get tighter, too.
Try to be sure before you take the risk.
Don't call out to a hostage with the action button until you're fairly sure that it's Ames. If you do make a mistake, switch the microphone for an AK and get out of there before a guard gets suspicious. If you're discovered inside, they'll cut off your retreat and call in the reinforcements. You won't make it out of the room. The mission will be over if you're discovered. Don your disguise and look for Ames while deflecting the enemy's suspicion.
All right, that doesn't sound too bad. But let's save before we actually try this out.
What's up, Jack? Jack, how's the mission going?
Fine.
Fine? Is that it?
Look, I really don't feel like talking about the mission. At least with you. I want to talk about something else.
Okay, then. Let's talk about you.
Me?
Yeah, your least favorite subject.
That's not...
Oh, yeah? Then go ahead and say something.
Like what?
Anything. Tell me something about yourself.
I can't think of anything interesting to say. Why do you want to talk about me so badly?
Because I'm curious.
But why?
Is it really that strange to want to know more about someone you love?
No, it's not strange, but...
You know, sometimes Oh, look, now we're talking about me, not you. Why won't you tell me anything? About what you were like as a child? What kind of things you liked to do? What kind of people your parents were? I've never heard you talk about any of that. Why? Don't you think it's just a little bit unusual that I don't know anything about my own boyfriend's past?
Rose, when I get back, I'll tell you everything.
Is that a promise?
Yes, it's a promise.
I knew you all wanted to see one more interaction between Rose and Raiden. Alright, so there are a lot of different hostages in this area for us to choose from. It is not too tough to find Ames. So basically what we need to use is, of course, the directional microphone. But before we do that, let's head up here onto the stage. And you'll notice, oops, as I jump off randomly, that the flag over there is actually hung in a very weird position. And it was like that in Resident Evil 2 as well. Not exactly sure what's going on with that. So there's one guard patrolling in this area, and you have to be careful of him. You cannot take him out. If you knock him out or try to attack him, you will automatically alert the guards, and that will lead to a mission failure. So we're going to pull out the directional microphone. You can hear the heartbeat there. That stupid guard is coming down, so let's re-equip our AK.
Reporting no problems in the hall on B1 in the Shell 1 core.
So what we're listening for is a metallic sound or a beeping sound that indicates a pacemaker. Let's see if any of these guys have it. I hear it really faintly. So it's probably not any of these people. Dang it, that guard's coming back. I've never had an issue like this. The guards always stayed in the north part of the room. Again, nothing weird going on over here. I'm just kind of chilling.
You're Ames, aren't you?
That's what happens if you try to activate the wrong person. So it is not that man. And if a guard's nearby, it'll actually alert him, and then you have to re-equip your AK. Now let's cut through the suspense here. Ames is actually this hostage right here. You can hear that little beeping sound.
You're Ames, aren't you?
In the Shell 1 core.
You must be Ames. Keep still and listen to me. I'm not a terrorist. I got in here using one of their uniforms. I'm taking off the tape. Stay quiet.
Who told you about me?
An informer calling himself Mr. X, dressed like a ninja.
I see. Take this thing off me, will you? I'm Richard Ames.
Secret Service?
No, I was sent in by the Lali Lule Lo, just like you.
What?
You're here to find out where the president is. We have little time, so I'll be brief. How about switching to nanocommunications first?
Nanocommunications?
Right, silence beats talk when it comes to safety.
I'll see y'all next time, viewers.